Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Mirella Veras and welcome back to IRI, AI for Digital Health Justice. Today I want to reflect on artificial intelligence from a broader perspective, not only as a technology but as a part of a much larger pattern, the way society responds when new ideas, new tools, and new forms of knowledge disrupt the world they know. In my work in artificial intelligence, rehabilitation, and digital health equity, I often hear concerns about AI replacing jobs, reducing creativity, increasing inequities, or changing what it means to be human. These concerns are important, but they are also familiar. Throughout history, every major transformation has generated a mixture of excitement and fear, hope and uncertainty, opportunity and resistance. To understand artificial intelligence, we may first need to understand how society responds when familiar forms of order are disrupted and when uncertainty forces us to rethinking the world around us. Interestingly, physics offers a powerful place to begin. In 1977, Ilya Prigogine was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his work on complex systems and what he called dissipative structures. For a long time, science understood systems mainly through the idea that they tend towards equilibrium. In classical thermodynamics, energy disperses and systems move towards states of greater disorder. Prigogine did not reject these principles. Instead, he added an important insight. He showed that when complex systems are pushed far from equilibrium, they do not necessarily collapse. Under uncertain conditions, instability can become the source of a new form of order. Think about a calm lake. A stone falls into the water, waves spread across the surface for a moment. The system becomes unstable. There is movement, turbulence, and disruption. Eventually, the surface may appear calm again, but the system has changed. The energy introduced by the stone has moved through the water and altered the state of the lake. Prigogine's works help us see instability differently. Instability is not always only a threat. Sometimes it's a creative force. Sometimes what appears to be chaos is actually a transition towards a new organization. He also introduced the idea of bifurcation point, a moment when a system reaches a crossroads and multiple futures becomes possible. At a bifurcation point, the future is not completely determined by the past. Small actions can influence the direction of the entire system. Although this idea comes from physics and chemistry, it also offers a useful way to thinking about societies, economies, structures, scientific revolution, and technical change. One of the greatest examples of transformation in human history was the Renaissance. Beginning in Italy during the 14th century and spreading across Europe during the 15th and 16th centuries, the Renaissance represents the rebirth of knowledge, creativity, and human possibility. But we often forget that this period did not emerge from stability. Europe was experiencing political tensions, religious conflicts, economic changes, pandemics, and major shifts in worldview. The old order was being questioned. The future was uncertain. In many ways, it was a period of social and intellectual disruption. And yet, from this instability emerged extraordinary creativity. Artists such as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo transformed arts. Scientists and philosophers challenged assumptions. New forms of inquiry changed how people understood the human body, nature, society, and the universe. What fascinates me about the Renaissance is the science, philosophy, art, and spirituality were deeply connected. People were asking fundamental questions. Who are we? What is our place in the universe? What is possible for human beings? Seen through Perugine lens, the Renaissance can be understood as a society moving far from equilibrium and reorganizing itself into a new form of order. It reminds us that disruption does not always lead to decline. Sometimes it opens space for renewal. A few centuries later, another transformation challenged humanity' understanding of itself. In 1858, Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace independently presented the theory of evolution through natural selection. In 1859, Darwin published On the Origin of Species. Their work fundamentally changed how we understand life. Before Darwin and Wallace, many people understood humans as separate from the natural world. Their theory challenged that assumption. It suggested that humans are part of nature and connected to all living organisms through a shared evolutionary history. This is not simple a scientific discovery. It was a profound shift in worldview. As with many transformative ideas, it generates resistance, controversy, and uncertainty. The intellectual order of the time was disrupted, but from that disruption emerged a new scientific understanding of life itself. Like the Renaissance, before it, the theory of evolution did more than produce new knowledge. It changed how humanity understood its own place in the world. Today, artificial intelligence may be forcing us to ask a similarly profound question: what it means to think, to create, and to be human. Around the same historical period, another transformation was reshaping society, the Industrial Revolution. Beginning in the late 18th century, the Industrial Revolution introduced machines powered first by steam, later by electricity, and eventually by automation. Factories expanded, cities grew, transportation accelerated, economic system changed. Many workers feared displacement. Many communities feared losing their way of life. The transition was not smooth. It generated social tensions, economic uncertainty, and deep inequities. From the perspective of those living through it, the Industrial Revolution did not feel like progress alone. It felt often chaotic, but over time, a new social and economic order emerged. The Industrial Revolution fundamentally amplified human physical capacity. Machines become extensions of human muscles. They allowed people to build, transport, manufacture, to produce on a scale that had never been possible before. Looking back, we often focus on the outcomes, but living through the transformation was far more uncertain. Today, I believe we are living through another historical transformation. But this time, something is different. If the Renaissance expanded human imagination and the Industrial Revolution amplified human physical capacity, artificial intelligence may be one of the first technology capable of transforming how humans think, learn, create, and make decisions. AI can generate text, analyze information, recognize patterns, support decision making, create images, translate languages, and process great volumes of information in seconds. This not necessarily means that human cognition become stronger or weaker. It means that our relationship with knowledge is changing, and perhaps this is why AI generates such strong reactions. During the Industrial Revolution, people asked, will machine replace human labor? Today, many people ask, will machine replace human thinking? This question touches something deeply personal: our intelligence, our creativity, our identity, and our sense of purpose. From Prigogine perspective, artificial intelligence may represent a historical bifurcation point. We are living through a period of instability and the future is not yet determined. The choice we make today will influence the world that emerges tomorrow. This is where I believe the conversation about AI becomes more important. The central questions are not only technology, they are human. Who benefits from AI? Who participates in its development? Whose voices are included? Whose voices are missing? Will the benefits of AI be distributed broadly, or will they be concentrated among small numbers of individuals, organizations, or nations? As a researcher working in healthcare and digital health equity, these questions guide much of my work. Technology should improve human well-being. It should reduce barriers rather than create new ones. It should promote inclusion rather than deepen existing inequities. At the center of the discussion is ethics. Ethics is not an obstacle to innovation. Ethics is what allows innovation to serve humanity. Artificial intelligence can help us to process information, generate ideas, and respond to complex problems, but it cannot decide what is right. It cannot define justice. It cannot determine what kind of future we should create. This decision remains profoundly human. Many people imagine that artificial intelligence is being shaped only by engineers, computer scientists, and technology companies. Of course, they play a crucial role, but the reality is broader than that. AI is shaped by the questions we ask, the data we use, the policies we create, the systems we support, and the values we choose to prioritize. The future of AI is not being written only in laboratories. It is being shaped by society itself. And that means we are participants. Prigogine taught us that when complex systems move far from equilibrium, new forms of order can emerge from instability. The Renaissance reminds us that uncertainty can generate creativity. Darwin and Wallace remind us that transformative ideas often challenge deeply held assumptions. The Industrial Revolution reminds us that technological change can reshape entire societies. And artificial intelligence reminds us that history is still unfolding. The question is not whether AI will change the world. It already is. The most important question is what kind of world will emerge from that change? Will it be equitable? Will it be inclusive? Will it reflect our highest human values? Because ultimately, the future of artificial intelligence is not only a technological question, it is a human one. And at the heart of every human question, there is also one ethical one. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel.